Memory in Transformation, a Temporal Theory of Urban Landscape, Heritage, and Memory. Overview and Core Argument. This academic paper, published in Land Journal August 2026, presents a groundbreaking theoretical framework that challenges conventional understandings of urban heritage and memory. The authors Tigran Haas, Ryan Locke, Krister Olsen, and Ljiljana Vasilevska advance the concept of memory in transformation as a lens for understanding how urban landscapes, heritage, and collective memory are dynamically produced through processes of change rather than merely preserved despite them. The paper's central premise is radical yet elegantly simple. Urban landscape transformation does not simply affect heritage and memory, it actively produces, reconfigures, and redefines them over time. This reframing positions transformation not as a threat to heritage but as its constitutive condition, a mechanism through which new heritage systems emerge and collective memory is continuously reshaped. Theoretical foundations. The authors identify three interrelated dimensions that constitute their framework. 1. Temporal layering. Urban landscapes are composed of multiple temporal strata that coexist and interact. These layers are not merely historical residues but active components of the present, shaping how space is perceived, used, and valued. Superkeilen in Copenhagen exemplifies this through its compression of over 100 objects from 50-plus countries into a single public space, while Stockholm's Slussen redevelopment demonstrates sequential layering across centuries of infrastructural change. 2. Mediated interpretation. The relationship between spatial change and memory is never direct but always mediated through social, cultural, and institutional processes. Planning frameworks, design practices, policy instruments, and everyday uses all contribute to how the past is framed and mobilized within the present. This mediation extends beyond interpretation to actively define what counts as heritage in the first place. 3. Dialectical production. Tensions between continuity and rupture, preservation and development, stability and change inherently characterize urban transformation. These tensions are not anomalies to be resolved but constitutive elements of urban processes. Heritage emerges through the negotiation of these contradictions, as different actors and interpretations compete to define the past's significance. The two case studies. Superkeilen, Copenhagen. This park represents a deliberate construction of new heritage through design. It compresses geographically dispersed cultural references into a curated public space, producing heritage through juxtaposition of decontextualized fragments. The project emerged partly against the backdrop of the 2006 Muhammad cartoons controversy, making its mediation of migrant heritage politically charged. Slussen, Stockholm. This large-scale infrastructural redevelopment demonstrates how transformation reconfigures existing layers of memory. A lock has existed at the site since 1642, with the 1935 Cloverleaf interchange now being substantially rebuilt. The project exposes stark dialectical tensions between infrastructural necessity, flood risk, drainage capacity, and public attachment to the mid-century form being removed. Temporal justice. A crucial contribution of the paper is its introduction of temporal justice, the recognition that urban transformation affects communities unevenly, redistributing not only material resources but also symbolic recognition. Whose histories are sustained, whose memories are recognized, and whose temporalities are marginalized become central ethical questions. This differs from spatial justice distribution across space or heritage justice redress of historical wrongs by focusing on the ongoing production of memory through transformation itself. Implications for practice. The framework demands fundamental reorientation in land use planning, moving from static zoning toward process-oriented, adaptive approaches that engage with temporal complexity and recognize planning's role in producing meaning, not just managing space. Landscape architecture. designing landscapes that can accommodate multiple temporal layers, allowing past, present, and future to coexist and interact rather than privileging a single moment. Policy, developing integrated frameworks that link heritage, land use, and sustainability through explicit engagement with temporality and mediation. Conclusion. The paper concludes with a powerful redefinition: heritage, in this sense, is not what remains, it is what becomes. This positioning reframes cities not as archives of the past but as processes unfolding in time, where memory is continuously negotiated and heritage is perpetually in the making. By moving beyond preservationist logics and development-driven imperatives, the authors offer a portable analytical mechanism for understanding how transformation generates heritage and memory jointly. The framework advances three theoretical claims absent from existing approaches: that transformation is the generative mechanism of heritage rather than its external context, that this mechanism operates through temporal layering, mediated interpretation, and dialectical production, and that the resulting distribution of recognition constitutes a form of justice irreducible to spatial or reparative counterparts. This represents a significant contribution to heritage urbanism, critical heritage studies, and sustainable urban development, offering new directions for research and practice in rapidly transforming urban contexts worldwide.